from there? Looked like y'all had some workings there. Open there. Just take us through that play and being able to what opened.
Yeah, it was a play action play. I had a crossing route and they just didn't cover me. So the whole time I was pretty much open. And then Davis found me late and we scored. That's it.
What did you think of Davis? Obviously, he started off the game really fast, and y'all started off the game really fast. What did you think about him and how he did yesterday?
I think he played well. I mean, obviously as a team we didn't play well enough to win the game, but I think Davis. I think he played a good game.
What about offensively, being able to kind of finish games and sustain drives later on in the game? What do you think needs to happen?
Yeah, that's definitely us as a team. The players need to come together and just emphasize going into this week. We got to finish games. We can start out strong, but if we don't finish the game, we're going to have the same result going into next week.
You guys had only one running back in the game at one point, and it's possible y'all are kind of looking for that still. I mean, what situation is it like in a game and going forward?
I mean, there's always a plan. I mean, there was at one point, I think Akins, he ended up playing a little bit of running back. So there's always a plan. This is the NFL. So if somebody gets hurt, next man got to be ready to go.
Brevin, you have by far the best touchdown to reception ratio of the team. You got a knack for getting open in the end zone. What is the key to that?
I think that's the coaches, just putting me in good positions, and God just blessed me with the athletic ability to go play football. So I think I'm just getting put in positions to go score, and that's credit to the coaches, the offensive line, and everybody doing their jobs.
Now that you've got 3 touchdowns under your belt, do you still feel like you're going to throw up when you catch the ball?
No, not at all. When I got that second one, it was like I don't know. I was like, oh, like I'm used to this now. Like it felt good.
You point out to the coaches your touchdowns to catch, and maybe they need to throw you the ball more.
Nah, I'm just a rookie, man. So I'm just happy to even be playing right now. I'm just enjoying my time, and I'm just trying to grow every day. I'm not worried about getting the ball. I'm worried about winning games and just improving myself daily.
I feel like you've improved over the last few games.
I think it's just me getting more comfortable, getting more reps and just going out there just playing football. The first game, the speed of it, everything felt so fast. And now I'm in my 6th game, I think, and everything is just definitely slowing down. Being able to read coverages and, see what the defensive line is what it was going to do. So just definitely being more comfortable.
You guys ran more screens than you did in any other game yesterday. What went into that, and why do y'all think that was the plan there?
I think that's just, was part of the game plan. I'm telling you, I'm just doing my job. I'm just playing football. I'm just doing what I can do to help the team.
How does it feel that at this stage of the season you guys are kind of leaning on all you rookies, all you guys are playing?
Feels cool. I mean, we're just a bunch of rookies, and we're just trying to, get the respect of our teammates and the coaches and, everybody in the city of Houston. So for us to be playing and, making an impact on the team feels real good for all of us.
All good.
Appreciate y'all.
Just on, with 3 games left, what do you think there is to work on for you to kind of complete your year?
All aspects of my game. I mean, I want to finish out the year strong. So, next year the coaches can look at me and be like, he's a 3-down tight end. So I want to improve on blocking. I want to be able to show my yak. I want to be able to, win vertical routes, man-to-man coverage, win in zone, everything. I want to just be able to finish out the year strong. Cool. Appreciate y'all.
You guys have been playing really well, not giving up big plays for 4 games. Then you gave up 3 touchdowns. What was the difference?
3 yesterday.
Giving up none for 4 games.
Yeah, we just we've been trying to find ways to try to, of course, eliminate big plays, and we just got to do that obviously more consistently, and not in the critical moments of the game. That moment where it was a turning point. We just got to find a way to capitalize it the best way we can. So we can get a win.
Christian Kirksey yesterday was talking about just assignments and gap controls and things of that nature. Is that kind of what you, from your vantage point, what went wrong on some of those big runs and kind of some of the things that y'all need to shore up?
Yeah, I think we just all got to keep playing, get to know each other and trust each other that my guy's going to be there in their gaps. Each guy doing their 111, if your job is to be in the A gap, you should be there. Don't go hopping other people's gaps or just be more gap control. And Coach Lovey's been kind of harping on that. Coach Cully's been harping on that. So we just got to continue to keep getting better at that, just to eliminate the big runs. And of course, we want to decrease our run stop defense by a ton. You know, we're getting takeaways. We're top 3, 4 in the league, whatever. But that's one thing that we're trying to decrease as the season finishes.
How are you feeling about your own performance and your own contributions to the team now in year 2?
Yeah, I always can do better. Just trying to find my best version of myself every day, every Sunday. Just go out there and keep improving, taking steps forward and not back. But I think I'm doing a decent job of doing that, and just keep continuing to have a good attitude and just go about the season how it is and just keep getting ready. Malik, he's a real technician. Before he got here, I used to watch a lot of his film. I trained with him a couple times, but in the off season before we got here. A good dude, great player. You know, I kind of look up to him as of course, a vet, as an older figure for me. Just like Dunny was here, Carlos Watkins, guys like those. You know, he's a leader in our room, so he's been doing a great job of doing that. You know.
In what ways is he a leader?
He just keeps guys motivated. He pushes guys. You know, he's almost like a coach in a way, because he'll push your buttons like a coach. You know, you come out. Sometimes you want to be like, bro, what are you talking about? But you know, all he's trying to do is just motivate you and just have a great attitude in the room, and just guys continuing to get better and develop themselves. You know, he said he wanted to be a coach, so I see it happening. Yeah.
What was something that he coached you on?
Just certain like pass rush techniques, certain run stop ways to take on blocks a lot easier than I guess what I was doing, or maybe he just had an opinion on how it could be easier for me to do it. You know, everybody in that room has different ways how they do stuff. You know, at the end of the day, if it works for you, it works for you. You know.
Well, what do you remember about Trevor Lawrence from the first game, and James Robinson's good back yesterday? He had 0.7 yards per carry and then ran for only 8 yards against Tennessee.
Yep.
What do you think about say Lawrence from the first game and Robinson?
Yeah. Honestly, I think we just gotta continue to keep getting better. Obviously, Robinson's a good back. Trevor Lawrence is just getting better as the season's going. Like I said, anybody can be beaten in this league. I think we just gotta see what was good last game and try to match that times 2, and just go out there and just play our best game of football and try to come back with a win. You know.
How disappointing was you were in the fourth quarter and then to lose it the way you did?
That touchdown call definitely shouldn't have been a touchdown, but I ain't no referee, but that's just me. But that was a critical point of the game. A couple of those big runs were a critical point of the game. I honestly think if that touchdown didn't happen, we would have had a chance to win. Honestly, we only can control what we can control, and that's what we're going to do from now moving forward. Just control what we can control, play our best game, best brand of football, and just let the chips fall where they land.
You said Malik would want to be a coach. I mean, with us, he's kind of quiet. What's he like whenever he gets like that, the same kind of way?
He quiet. He'll kind of like whisper to you or say something to you, but he's not like just antisocial, no talking to nobody. He's just a mellow dude, chill dude, but he don't yell or nothing like that. He's just a real mellow, chill dude. But I don't know, he may be different when he coach, you know. I don't know, but he's a good little leader in our room.
Couple more questions.
Yeah, appreciate it.
About Mills's performance.
I thought there were some good things that happened out there on the field yesterday as an offense, and you know, he has a big part of that. I think there's some things that we need to clean up, areas where we can be better. But you know, he's definitely showing development.
What was behind kind of you guys being able to spread the ball out more recently, especially yesterday?
I don't know if there's anything specifically that's behind that. I think we were, I think as an offense as a whole, we kind of were gelling a little bit more cohesively, and I think that we were able to when the ball moves around, the team, I feel like our offense does well. We move the ball down the field. We have opportunities to score. That's a goal of ours, ultimately, always. We haven't really been great at doing it all the time, but we definitely started out doing that well yesterday.
Some of those things that you feel like you guys need to clean up, like what you mentioned earlier?
We can't become stagnated in the second half. If we want to stay in games with offenses that, like the Seahawks, who have the ability to score and the ability to hold on to the ball for a long time, we have to be able to do the same thing as well. You can't rely on the defense all the time to give you the ball in great field position in the red zone. That's just not the league that we play in. You have to be able to move the ball down the field and sustain drives, score. But our ability to move the ball in the second half has to become better. We have to take the adjustments and apply them. And even if the adjustment is something that you haven't talked about before, we have to do a better job of bringing that to the second half.
What do you attribute that sort of second half stagnation to then? You mentioned there are adjustments. Is it not carrying them through, or?
At this point, I feel like sometimes maybe we've been a little bit out adjusted. We've been making the adjustments, but we haven't taken them to the field to the point where, we could put a full drive together, if that makes sense. We've maybe adjusted one or two plays, and it's taken us maybe a drive or two to really figure out how that adjustment's going to take place, because the defense makes an adjustment too. But it has to be faster than that. You have to be able to take that adjustment and you have to be able to make it work on the first drive. Because really those first three drives of the second half, those might be the only drives you get. If the other team is holding onto the ball for a long time. So you have to be able to take those first three drives. You got to be able to get points with them. Even if it's a close game, you got to be able to get something out of those drives.
That first drive that had to start the game, where you scored the touchdown, you guys were able to move the ball around. You had, I think, the first catch you had was on that drive. Is that not look like sort of a template for how you guys should maybe start the second half, or just how things should flow?
In terms of how we should start or what we should call, that's ultimately not my job. That's above my pay grade. But I know that the plays that are called, we have to do a better job of executing them. When we get the opportunity to attack a defense's soft spot or a weak spot that we've identified, we got to make the play. And when things aren't right, you got to step up and make a play. You can't wait for anyone else to make it.
What's been behind kind of y'all's improvement in the screen game? It seemed like you were involved in some blocking there with Farrah. I mean, what's kind of picked up there?
I think that having a little bit more trust for the guys that are out there blocking for you definitely helps. I know that I've tried to make it known that if we're going to do receiver screens or anything where someone's going to kind of be put out on a limb or on an island, just do it behind me. Because I just feel comfortable getting it started. It can be a tough thing to do, but I feel like whatever the situation is, I'm comfortable doing that and putting my neck out there. So, when a guy needs a screen run and they say, "Hey, I'd like to do it behind Chris or on Chris's side," that's a good thing to have that trust from your teammates.
A difference in how effectively you guys were able to pass the ball after Rexburg had got hurt yesterday?
Yeah, it definitely makes it harder when you have when the run game is clicking and you're able to take tough runs and to move them forward and find a crease and get positive yardage where there is none. It opens up the pass game. We were able to get some of those backers, which they have a very good linebacking core. Intelligent. Those guys are fast. We're able to get those guys to step up. When you get guys like that to take 2 steps forward, it really opens up things behind you. You could see the examples on longer catches that Nico Collins had, Davion Davis had. Each of those were instances where we got the backers to move or at least pause their feet for a second to get those guys open. So that definitely helps. We have to do a better job of continuing to get that movement and or control regardless of who's in the game at running back, but Rex does a great job at that.
When when the run game is not effective and in the week leading up to a game, what conversations are you guys having where if you can't depend on that to be effective, what you guys can do to kind of overcompensate for that?
Well, your pass game needs to be effective whether you're getting backers to move or not. But that being said, we would like to be a team that has complementary football. If the run game is not working and it's not going well, we'd like to identify why it's not. Do we have a hat on a hat? Are we moving in the right direction? Do we have mistakes or holes in our communication? What really pinpointing what it is and attacking that, because if your run game's moving well, your pass game moves well. It's hard to go the other way around. Your pass game moving and then trying to get your run game going.
You signed one new deal here, and what do you feel like your season's gone so far with 4 games left? What do you feel like you have left to do?
This season has been an area for a lot of growth. Personally, having a different role on a team. That's not the typical role that I've had throughout my career, has been different. I think finding ways to affect the game and to be there, be consistent for my team, that's been the biggest area of growth. There's different ways of doing that without the ball in your hand, and I've been trying to excel at that and to make sure that I can be relied upon. But that being said, you can't say that any season is a success when you don't have wins. So this season has been difficult. It's been one where we've been working extremely hard. I don't know if I've been on a team where guys give effort like they do here, but it takes more than effort to win. So I can't say that it's been extremely successful, but I do see bright spots. I do see bright spots in there.
What do you attribute that effort to in a losing season that guys are able to stay?
Want to. You have a bunch of guys here who want to be successful, who want to win, and they'll do anything that they're asked to do, and they'll do it with their hair on fire. But like I said before, that's not good enough to win. So we have to definitely attack and improve on deficiencies that we find everywhere. And I know it sounds like a broken record, like we say that every week, but the fact that we don't have to coach effort is a very good thing, because there are places where you have to do that. We just have to correct the other things because the effort and the want to is there.
As a leader, what do you take away from some of the issues where players have had to be disciplined or held out of games?
That's just a part of life. There are things that happen. There are disagreements that happen. There's discipline that happens, and that's when you have fire and when you have heart and you care about what you're doing, that's what happens. So we take those things as they come. We roll with the punches. You accept discipline. You move forward, and you're a team.
Thanks, Chris. I was just going to say, so what do you want to get out of the rest of the season? I know there's only a few games left, and not as much to play for in the long run, but
there's always something to play for. There's always something to play for. I tell everybody in this locker room that you are what you put on tape, and teams recognize and they see what you put on tape in the last few games in a season like this. If your team technically has, as people say, nothing to play for, what kind of player are you? How do you prepare? How do you practice? How do you play those last few games? Because that says a lot about who you are as a football player. Are you a football player when things are going great? When things have a potential to bring you praise, to bring you to the playoffs and things like that? Or are you a football player when things aren't going great? Are you a preparer in those situations? Are you going to give your all to the team in that situation? So just remember that you are what you put on tape and put the right things on tape.
Thank you.